Hello, friends. Hello, hello. Hope you had a good weekend. This being Monday for me, and hope you had a good weekend and had a good time doing something that you love with the people you love. Let me just start the week off with a little good stuff. It's a great day. Loving history. I check every day what's on the tap, what's in the history book, and there's some big events on this day. One includes in 1940. JFK published his bestseller, Why England Slept. Great book. 3 years later to the day, 3 years later to the day, his PT 109 was sunk off of the Solomon Islands during World War II. In 1944, Miss Anne Frank wrote her last diary from her hideout in Amsterdam, their last journal entry. And the uprising began in Warsaw, Poland, same day. 1980, Iceland elected the first woman in the world to be an elected head of state. For all of us Gen Xers, in 1981, MTV launched and changed the history of music on this day. Big event. 1992, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, she won the heptathlon, becoming the first person to win that in back-to-back games. Amazing events, lots of amazing events on the horizon of history involving all kinds of folks. Now, all of which are just a few snapshots of the hundreds of monumentous things that occurred on this day that never got written down. See, that's what the history of humanity is kind of like, right? For every big event that we do remember, countless untold, occur. Thousands pass along without any kind of knowledge or recognition. And all of you, I'm sure, have your own momentous events on this day in your history. You have heroic stories to share as well. None of which would be possible, none of which could have happened without the individual's ability to reboot the right mindset with each day and with each setback. All the folks involved, recognized and unknown, share in the common struggle with us that need to endure and to persevere with direction and purpose. All of these historic events happened because the stakeholders had grit and determination and direction, each one heroic and consequential in their own right. And you too, you have that same story to tell. Now, we're all totally familiar with the out of sort, out of mind type thing, right? I'm out of sorts, I'm struggling to focus. It never feels good, right? Our energy and our enthusiasm can be so fragile at times. It takes a beating, even when it's not fragile. It takes a beating, and we take hard shots, and we absorb a lot of negativity. C'est la vie, such is life. And so we've got to be active. We've got to be intentional when we find ourselves there. Hit the reboot button. Hit that reboot button. It doesn't matter how often we got to hit the reboot button, but we got to hit the reboot button, right? No matter how many times we got to hit the reboot button, we got to hit the reboot button. And I'm not suggesting a kind of a passive response either. When I'm afraid, or I feel defeated, or I feel paralyzed, or I feel out of sorts, I really need to stop and hit that reboot button and reset that winner mentality. Reset that more than conqueror mentality. Get back to that mindset that Christ offers us, right? And I'm not recommending that we wait it out. Not recommending that we wait it out till things get better. They generally do. They generally will. But waiting involves so much discomfort and sometimes opportunity lost. So I'm recommending our good step today is hit the reboot button, an active reboot. Take a pause. Re-say your prayers for the day. Phone a friend. Go for a bike ride. Do a combination of these things, right? When we're down and we're paralyzed or afraid or we're out of sorts, reboot. Hit the reboot button. And keep in mind, there's always an element of time involved with everything, right? Doing a reboot when we need to, it matters. That's an important priority. So we should prioritize it above other things. And even when we see our loved one in a bad headspace and timing, right? It's a good idea to lovingly and gently help them to see, hey, it's time to reboot, and help them activate their process. At least give them time and space to do that, right? It's always important to remember the words of the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 8, verses 37. He said, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. And so if you're not feeling that, if you're not channeling that, if you're struggling to see yourself and see the situation in light of that, hit the reboot button anytime, anytime. And interestingly, the original biblical word for conqueror was prefixed with what we would use the word hyper for. So it's not totally incorrect to say we are overwhelmingly conquerors. So please, friends, anytime and as often as you need to, reboot that winner mindset, reboot that more than conqueror mindset. Otherwise, have a great day. See you next time.